Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing well. Welcome back to your biology class. So let's take a quick review that what we studied in our previous videos. So in the previous lecture, that is lecture 1, in which we studied about how modern technology has helped to increase food production and the problem caused by monocultures of crops and intensive livestock. In the second lecture, we studied about habitat destruction and the main reason why habitats have been destroyed. And secondly, deforestation, like how deforestation affects the environment. So today our topic of discussion is topic number 3, pollution. This is what actually the human impacts on the environment. So the first question is, what is pollution? Pollution is any effect of human activities on the environment. On the term pollution can be defined as influence of any substance causing nuisance, its mean inconvenience, harmful effects and uneasiness to the organisms. And this pollution is usually or obviously caused by some substances. These substances are called pollutants. So what is pollutants? Any substance causing nuisance, it means inconvenience, bad effect or harmful effects or uneasiness to the organism, then that particular substance may be called as pollutant. Students, human success is that their population is increased in size and human has the ability to solve complex problems and they are able to modify the environment for their benefit. So this thing is actually plays a very great demand on the environment and causing changes in the atmosphere, the aquatic environment and the land. So let's discuss the types of the pollution. There are actually 5 types of pollution exist. Number 1, air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, land pollution and radioactive pollution. So students, if we looking at pollution, so we shall consider 3 key points. And what are these? What is the cause of pollution? What are the effects of pollution? And what are the solutions? Students, primitive humans had a temporary effect on the environment, like hunting, fishing, and burning wood, because they were nomadic and allowed the environment periods of time to recover. After humans become cultivators and settlers, so they cause effects on the environment which gradually become noticeable, like for example the use of tools and domestication of animals. So it meant for a more efficient agriculture. The greater need for shelter, agriculture, land and fuel meant a greater rate of deforestation and desertification. We already discussed. So today we are going to discuss about pollution of water. Students, all living organisms depend on a supply of water, and most of these aquatic organisms respire aerobically and so require oxygen from their environment. Any change that alters the amount of oxygen in the water can seriously affect the suitability of water as a habitat. So water pollution is what? The contamination of water bodies. Contamination means any impure unwanted thing is adding into the water bodies and usually as a result of human activities. Water bodies include, for example, lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers and groundwaters. Water pollutants result when contaminants are introduced into the natural environment. Students, the two pollutants that most of often reduce the oxygen in waters are fertilizers, sewage, and phosphate from detergent. Students, fertilizers like nitrates and phosphates are added to the soil by farmers. So some of the fertilizers is washed from the soil by rain into the nearest pond, lake or river. This process is called leaching. Sewage is usually contains an excellent source of organic food for bacteria, and it also contains phosphate from the detergent. If untreated sewage is entering into the water body, so it causes pollution. So phosphate is, I already explained that it can coming from the detergents and also from the fertilizer. So what are the effects? If excesses nutrients which is coming from these pollutant, okay, these things, fertilizer, sewage and phosphates in water, leads to depletion of oxygen levels in water bodies. So today we will discuss about the pollution of water, and the example is eutrophication. So first discuss the causes of eutrophication. The causes of eutrophication, first of all, leaching of fertilizer. I already explained in the last slide that nitrates and phosphates are added to the soil by farmers, and some of the fertilizer is washed from the soil by rain into the nearest pond or river. So this process is called leaching. Input of sewage, untreated sewage is entering into the water bodies. Liquid manure washed out from the farms. So what are the effects? It causes the death of marine life, because excess nutrient in water leads to depletion of oxygen levels in water bodies. If oxygen level is depleted or low oxygen level is there, so that aerobic organisms are unable to live there. So this is eutrophication. Students, see, a well balanced natural pond or river is like that. Algae and plankton, they are the producers, bacteria decomposers, some protozoans, and you see multicellular organism, also marine life here, fishes, crabs, frog. So these is the natural balanced pond which contain least nutrients. But water that contains few nutrients is rich in oxygen and supports a wide variety of living organisms. The oxygen enters the atmosphere by diffusion and from photosynthesizing aquatic plants. Simpler forms of life, such as algae and bacteria, are controlled. Yeah, like their population isn't controlled because the low concentration of nutrients such as nitrate is a limiting factor for their growth, because in the natural environment it found in very low amount. So limiting factors means that something which is present in a small portion, or so is so that it affect the life process. So if more nutrients are made available, like which is coming from fertilizer or from sewage, then it causes eutrophication. So let's discuss about the steps of eutrophication. So in the first step, the fertilizer is spread on the land for cultivation. Then it gets washed away by the rain and absorbed into the soil. And with the running water, then fertilizers is transported to a lake by an underground water. And this process is called, yes, leaching. The fertilizer causes overgrowth of aquatic plants and algae in the lake, because algae and other surface plants, they grow very rapidly and they block out light to plants rooted on the bottom of the river or pond. So this means that sunlight cannot reach the bottom of the lake, so algae dies. So the rooted plant dies and other bodies provide more nutrients. So the bacteria decomposes the algae, taking up all the oxygen, making the lake anoxic. Anoxic means that complete depletion of oxygen. Because the population of bacteria increasing rapidly as they multiply, the bacteria consume oxygen for aerobic respiration. So there is no oxygen left for other marine life. So ultimately, this causes the other organism in the lake to die. So students, the pond or river soon becomes depleted of living organisms. So the solution of this problem is straightforward, that do not allow excess nutrients into the water. So what is the solution of water pollution or eutrophication? Treat sewage before it enters to the rivers. Like sewage treatment process in previous classes you studied about, because it contain high amount of nutrients which support the algae. And secondly, prevents from drainage entering the rivers and ponds. We already discussed about in food production topic that how excessive nutrients from the farmland and from livestocking is leaving into the water bodies. And we can also control use of fertilizer, like we can apply only when crops are growing. We cannot apply to the bare field, and we do not apply when rain is forecast, so we have to avoid leaching process. And last is, do not dispose of waste fertilizer into the rivers or pond, because they contain high amount of nutrients, so it accelerates the growth of algae and other plants on the surface. So they grow rapidly and they block the lights of the plant, or some plant which are rooted on the bottom of the river, so that they die, and other bodies which provide nutrients, they also die. So bacteria also accelerate, or their population increases, because they eat on dead organic matter, and as a result, when they multiply, they consume more oxygen, because they are aerobic organism, they do aerobic respiration. So bacteria, so as a result, other living creatures cannot obtain enough oxygen, they must leave the area if they can, or they will die. So their bodies provide even more food for bacteria, and the situation become even more worse. So students, I'm going to tell you about more examples of water pollution. Yeah, students, now we are going to discuss about a very different kind of water pollution, and it may result from the discharge of chemical waste into waterways. So chemical waste pollution, waste that is made from harmful chemicals, mostly produced by large factories. Toxic waste can harm people, animals, and plants, whether it ends up in the ground or in streams or waterways. So, what are the causes of chemical waste pollution? Disposal of heavy metals into waterways. For example, lead, mercury, or cadmium. And what are the effects of these heavy metals? These toxins, such as mercury and lead, persist in the environment for many years and accumulate over time. So, if human or wildlife often absorb these toxic substances when they eat fish or other prey, because these chemicals or heavy metals actually dispose in waterways. So, if humans eat fish or other marine animals, so it means these heavy metals can transfer into human bodies. So this is the effect of mercury on organisms, like the inhalation of mercury can produce harmful effects on the nervous, digestive, and human or immune system, lungs and kidney, and may be fatal. Next is lead. Lead can harm production of blood cells. In our body, the blood cells have lifespan. After that they are degraded and new blood cells are formed. Like for example, RBCs can be made after 120 days. So it can harm the production of blood cells and the absorption of calcium needed for strong bones and teeth. Students, you know, in our body, calcium is absorbed into our bones with the help of vitamin. Yes, you know what vitamin we need? Yes, vitamin D. So that's why people said that sit in the sun if you have vitamin D deficiency, because it causes to calcium to accumulate in your bones and teeth and make them strong. So if lead is interfere with the deposition of calcium into bones and teeth, so it can cause difficulty in muscles movement, obviously, and the work of nerves and blood vessels is also affected. High level of lead can cause brain and kidney damage. Cadmium can result in flu-like symptoms. What is flu-like symptoms? Ever in your life you have this flu, so it can cause fever and muscles pain, body ache, and can damage the lungs. If it damage the lungs, so it means that person cannot breathe properly. So no more oxygen is given to the body cells, and the body cells deprive of oxygen. So ultimately, the death of body cells happen. So in chronic exposure, chronic means at low level over an extended period of time. So it can result in kidney, bone, and lung disease. And last, that it stop enzyme working properly. You know, in our body different enzymes have different role, like enzymes which are found in the digestive system. So it can break down larger molecule into smaller ones so that our digestive system can absorb it properly. If think about these enzymes is not working properly, so that we can, our cells is deprived of what? Fuel. So that no energy is released and we are unable to do any work. So as a result, ultimately death of living organisms. So these substances are very poisonous or to living things, because heavy metal stops enzyme working properly. If they get into streams, rivers, on the sea, they may kill almost every living thing in that area of water. So what can we do? What is the solution? Yes, the best, easy and cost effective way is the treatment of metal containing discharges at the source or near an industrial zone at the start of main drain. So this will save whole of the water plant, human animal system from metals. So now we are going to discuss about non-biodegradable plastics. Students, you know, plastics are man-made materials that we use for many different purposes. So most of them are made from fossil fuel. If you look around, that everything almost certainly be able to several items that is made from plastic, because plastic are cheap, lightweight, and can be made into any shape and color that we want. But one big problem with plastic is that most of them are non-biodegradable. What does it mean? It means that decomposers cannot break them down. So when a plastic item is thrown away, it does not rot or degrade. So discarded plastic objects just accumulate. So non-biodegradable materials are often synthetic products like plastics, glass, etc. If not disposed of properly, non-biodegradable waste can cause pollution, block drains, and harm animals. So what are the effects? The most visible and disturbing impacts of marine plastic are the ingestion, suffocation, and entanglement of hundreds of marine species. Marine wildlife such as seabirds, whales, fishes, and turtles mistakes plastic waste for prey, and most die of starvation as their stomachs are filled with plastic debris. For example, plastic waste thrown away at sea is often mistaken for jellyfish by turtles, so they eat it. As they eat more and more, it gradually collects up in their stomachs because it cannot be broken down by their enzymes. So now they cannot eat their real food and eventually die. Another example is animal can also get trapped inside plastic containers or may get plastic cords or bags wrapped around their bodies. So, control of water pollution by plastic, how can we control it? The first is use reusable bags and pouches. Secondly, avoid the use of plastic disposable materials. Avoid plastic packaging. Refuse disposal utensils like straws, cutlery, and plastic bags. We are very habitual of using all these things here. Recycle properly. Picking up trash on the beach, that we are avoiding to put litter on the beach or shore. Buy ocean friendly products. So another pollution of water is caused by female contraception hormones. You remember in chapter reproduction in humans, we studied about birth control method, in which we studied about the contraceptive hormones. Remember estrogen? Yes, estrogen is found in birth control pills, which female can use to avoid pregnancy. So worldwide water has been polluted with these steroid hormone, because this estrogen is actually a type of steroid hormone, with many released from sewage treatment and plants. So the active ingredient in most birth control pills actually ended up in rivers and lakes, because females are using this, so through their urine it enters into the water bodies. So estrogen in birth control pill has negative impacts on fish. New research shown that hormones found in birth control pills alters the gene in fish, which can cause changes in their behavior. Like male fish, for example, have been shown to produce fewer sperm if the water in which they live is polluted with female contraceptive hormone. In some cases, they can even make a male fish change sex and become a female. Yes, this is true. Estrogen appears in the drinking water in the form of steroidal. It is the most influenced form of estrogen, and it can enter the water supply via contraceptive pills when women excrete through urine or feces. So, and estuaries where it can harm wildlife. Students, this might also be one of the reasons why worldwide the sperm count of many men is much lower now than it was 20 years before. Sperm count is actually a measure of number of sperm produced and their activity. Students, a study involve 26,000 men, and the average sperm count between 1989 and 2005 is fell by one third. And one possible explanation for this is exposure to female contraceptive hormones. As I mentioned here, that estrogen appears in the drinking water. And another exposure is to synthetic chemicals used for various purposes, such as making plastics, that behave in similar ways to these hormones. So at the moment, however, no one exactly know the full explanation for this fall of sperm count in men. So at the end of the lecture, you are able to understand what is pollution and what is pollutant means. We discussed about the types of pollution like water pollution, land pollution, etc. And today we discussed about the water pollution in detail, and we discussed about the sources and effects of pollution by fertilizer, chemical waste, untreated sewage on water bodies, and we also discussed about eutrophication. I hope you understand it well. So take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.